I had a gentleman message me, I think yesterday. I was getting back to him today, and he was sharing about when he watched my videos. What he was most struck by was how magnetic I was, which is right on brand. Being a client magnet, that's one of our brands, that's one of our programs. And also, 12, 14 years ago, I had a company called The Magnetic Man, which was about helping our clients, we're single guys, I say my now wife and I, Kalpna, to be magnetic. And around that time, I was actually sought out by Cambridge University psychology department because they wanted to do a covert study with the business department at Cambridge on what they were calling charismatic leadership, another term for magnetism. So they used me as a subject to be magnetic amongst the business students so they could study the impact that I was having and the way that my way of being was attracting them or impacting them. So when I got this guy's message, I was like, I get it, man. And I don't experience that as like something about me and my personality, because I could think of times in my life where I've been repulsive. I mean, as a kid, I had no friends. I can actually picture being at chorus when I was in elementary school and being standing in the middle and everybody moving away from me as if I was like this repulsive force that was just like this thing went around. I mean, I got bullied when I was a kid. I had no friends. I sat by myself. And so I know what the opposite of being magnetic is. And I also know what it's like to be neither of those things, to just be neutral and be invisible. And so not only do I know the feeling of all those three states, I have a conscious understanding about how to create them, move between them, create them differently. And that's really at the center of our work at Creating. If we're helping somebody to create what they want, a big part of that is helping them to be an attractive force of that which they desire, either directly or indirectly. When I say indirectly, maybe you want to create financial success, and being an attractive in the context of relationships and opportunities will lead to that financial success. So it's not like the law of attraction where I manifest something through some magical means only. It's also like in a material, relational, actual sense. How do you be magnetic such that when you speak, people are drawn to you and they want to know more about you? It's not about me. It's not about a person that's being magnetic. It's a way of being. It's a way of being. Magnetism is a way of being, and it can be consciously cultivated. And there's a simple physics to it. By the way, thanks for riding with me in my car. I can only look at you from time to time because I'm driving. So, the way to be magnetic, just the physics of it, is to come from what I call a place of freedom, love, and power. So freedom, meaning not like, oh, I'm not in prison, or like I've got the right to bear arms. I mean freedom like in my mind. I am so entirely free to act with you the way that I would act with my intimate partner, who I know is going to like me even if I'm a bit silly. The way to be free in a way that's magnetic is to be with you the way that I am with myself in my own mind. How do I talk to myself in my head? What if I just did that with my mouth in front of you? And to the degree to which I can't do that is perfectly correlated with the absence of my magnetism, right? My freedom and my magnetism go hand in hand. And love, by the way, is magnetic. So replacing this fear that stops me from being free with love, that's a great start. Being loving towards myself, but also being loving outwardly, kind to the world. A person loves the idea of being free, but they love the idea even more that if they were free, they wouldn't be an asshole. Would I still be kind? Because that's something I value. Yeah, you can be both. Just make a commitment to being both. I'm free and loving and kind and generous and helpful. So those two things combined are magnetic. And what's the third one? Power. For me, power is not about hierarchy, about authority. For me, power is literally, like physics is my background, right? So it's just like the physics of power. Power is the difference you make divided by the time it takes you to make that difference. So making an impact, making a difference. So if I'm going to be free, if I'm going to be loving, and I'm going to be doing something or saying something that might make a difference for somebody, then I've got freedom, I've got love, I've got power. That's magnetic. And if you want to be more magnetic, I can help you. My whole team can help you. And we help you through being in conversation with you and listening to you talk about your life and talk about your world. And what we're going to do is when we listen to that, we're going to point out to you who we think we see you being, who we feel we see you being, who we hear you being. And you're going to look at that and you're going to see that and you're like, shit, that's who I'm being? Well, yeah, I can see that that's not very magnetic. And how do I be differently? Well, it starts with your ideas about yourself and the world. These aren't just personal beliefs. The way you see reality, the way you structure reality in your mind, the way you represent the world as well as yourself, all of that constitutes the matrix that you live in. And you be an expression of the matrix you live in. So first you got to see it, then you got to shift it, and then magnetism is effortless. You don't have to do something to be magnetic. It's when you let go and you come from love and you come from service, which is an orientation towards making a difference and impact, that magnetism happens. So if you like some of that, then get into a conversation with me or my team about who you're being right now that's not magnetizing, bringing in all that you want, whether it's people, relationships, opportunities, love life, money. It can be created from the inside out, but it takes an honest look. What did I say today to my team? I said to my team, look, I kind of tweaked Nietzsche's quote. I said, look, a creating champion. So I said, the strength of a creating champion spirit. Creating champions are the people on a team, the people I'm inviting you to talk to. The strength of a creating champion spirit can be measured by how much truth they are willing to share and confront a person with. Or more precisely, to what extent they must have it be muted, sweetened, diluted, disguised, or falsified. We will not disguise, dilute, sweeten, mute, or falsify. We will speak and share the truth with you of what we see and experience in your being that's having you not be as magnetic as you could be. It may be tough to swallow. You may want to hang up the phone. Go for it. Or stay and see what can be created on the other side. I love you. Thank you for riding with me here. I'll talk to you soon.